Okay, so we're gonna let about the first 5 seconds go by because that's really when it's like annoying audio sound. Okay, to start, we will go to the system table call, and that's where we define and everything. And you can see right here we define set tag get tag with a number of 335, 336. From there, we would want to go into, well, we can either go to schedule H where we actually define the variable tag and we just throw it in here. This is particularly because I found an example online that had something similar in the task struct. So we decided to place it here, but as long as it's not before the timing critical objects, we should be fine. From there, we would want to go to where we initiate everything. So we want every value to start off with 0, so we go into the init task and just set everything to 0. So now every variable we know is defined by 0. After that, we actually want to go where we define these system calls, and we do that in sys.c using a generic syscall defined for one variable and a syscall defined for two variable. In the one variable, we are just, as you can see, getting the tag. So we are initiating the struct. We are then calling the task via the PID that should be given when the sys calls. We see if it's null that there is no PID with that process, and we return error 1. Otherwise, we return the tag that is for that task. But moving on to the lower definition, and this is now the set tag, which we have a little bit more complicated. Now we can see that we're taking an integer for our PID, an integer for the target get value for the tag. We get the struct the same way. After that, we see if the task is null. Again, if this PID does not exist, we cannot assign a tag to it. So then from there, we return -1, and we cannot assign negative value for the tag. Here we are seeing if the user is root. If they are not root, we will return -1. And then this is also bit masking the bottom 2 bits, seeing it's comparing to see if it's allowed to do that. And then for the current PID, we're checking against the PID process. And then what we're doing here is we are shifting over 2 bits and comparing to make sure that nothing is going to go wrong in the permissions. And if we do get something wrong, it will spit out wrong permissions, or wrong permissions, because if you are root, you should be allowed to do most of these things. Okay, going down to, and then we assign the tag value to whatever is given, and then we return that just to show that we've satisfied the conditions. Okay, now if we go into the test, we make it, we see that it compiles properly, and we will go into P1 test and select 1, and we can see that it passed all the given tests.